Everyone talks about how The Sims 5 will be the end of The Sims. Some say The Sims is not going anywhere and competitors will be hard-pressed to take down such a long-standing legacy. However way you see it, I think a company who makes their intentions clear to create an ample profit while putting in the least amount of effort will not be a success forever. I truly don't think it's ethical to ignore the fact that The Sims 4 and its DLC model is completely exploitative. Of course, a title with such a huge legacy published by a company who allegedly makes it harder for you to play its previous games, it's a given success when players have nowhere else to get a people life simulator experience. But what happens when there are other options? If EA continues with this strange vision they want for their games, will they still be a success? Or will players have enough and finally jump ship? After learning some very eye-opening details from the most recent Behind the Sims stream, of course not from the source, but instead from really cool people that are really good at what they do, it's that type of content that makes you feel good after watching it, you know? Basically, we know The Sims 4 will live on alongside Project Rene, which apparently is not The Sims 5, nor will it be a spin-off. Project Rene will be EA's newest AAA title that has plans for mobile compatibility, a focus on online play, and be free to play from day one with an in-game marketplace. Couple that with a game that has been around for 10 years that could easily reach $2,000 for the complete experience. I don't have high hopes for EA's future with The Sims, but hey, I could easily be wrong. The Sims 4 has been more successful than ever these days. It's EA's literal gold mine. We have a more diverse player base with Simmers ranging from ages to playstyles. The Sims 4 has been lacking since release, yet so many still look forward to new content. Based on profit, the Sims franchise has a promising future. A future that is promising under one condition: there's no one else to do it better. The Sims 4 is so popular because we don't have another option. Did we forget what happened to SimCity? Initially, that game failed on its own and City Skylines filled that empty space and gave players what they were missing from a next-gen city builder. I personally think history could repeat itself, except there's more room for error this time around. There's a very large group of players that aren't happy with EA and their plans for the future of this franchise. People in that group are constantly looking for outs. And just like City Skylines, games like Life by You, Paralives, and even Viva Land are coming to the market to fulfill the wants of Simmers who feel neglected. All 3 games have not been released, but 2 out of 3 have substantial evidence to be everything longtime Simmers could ever hope for, which is what I want to dive into. What specifically about these games will draw players' attention from The Sims? If history does in fact repeat itself and Project Rene goes up in flames, what will the community look like after the smoke fades? Be in total control of the humans that you create, the towns that you build, the stories you tell, and oh yes, mods. We're empowering you with a wide variety of creative tools so you can design your lives the way you see fit, or break the rules of life itself. Designed to be one of the most moddable and open life simulation games, we look forward to the human stories and creations that you'll make with Life by You. An insert from a game description found on their website is a tell on how Rod Humble and a team of talented developers plan to create a life sim that surpasses the possibilities we expect from life simulation. I often would see people refer to Life by You as the true successor to The Sims 3. At first I saw this as a surface level point with Rod Humble making his return to life simulation, but then I realized it's the innovative nature of the game mechanics that has been showcased that earns this title. This game is targeting a mature audience who are looking for depth not only in gameplay, but in customization and control of every detail from conversations and businesses. This aspect of insane amounts of control puts Life by You securely on my top 10 most anticipated game list. Though I am partial to a cozier experience, I thought it might be fair to hear why this game could change the climate of the simming community and create its own unique, mature player base. You live and then you die, but at least you do it in a nice house. A very simple blurb for a not so simple game. The tagline may be less than plain, but it captures what will be the vibe of Paralives. A rather calm and cozy backdrop to a pretty detailed gaming experience. Details are not as intricate as Life by You, but the depth shows in subtle ways like name customization, advanced personalities, and procedural animations that work with different heights and life stages. The combination of a gorgeous aesthetic with plans to have gameplay just as rich is what keeps me waiting for a release date. I was once a huge huge fan of The Sims 4, but the aesthetics only took me so far, and I found myself wanting to do more than imagine storylines. Paralives gives you the best of both worlds. If the community could only see the brainstorming sessions and the way they bring those ideas to life on their Patreon. Only in time will the public learn what the team has ready in the cards. Paralives will never be The Sims 4, however, it could possibly be an interesting alternative. It's giving Simmers a vibe they are used to with an added layer of rewarding gameplay. Can a game like this destroy Project Rene? Realistically, no, not on its own at least. However, it could put a sizable dent in the popularity surrounding the long-standing legacy of The Sims. I haven't played The Sims 4 live mode in months, and Sims 3 is amazing, yet an old game. Based on discourse from the community, I'm not the only one looking for an out. Paralives offers a nice transition from The Sims 4, not too complicated in detail where the player will be overwhelmed, but rich in gameplay and storytelling that can turn a few hours of gameplay into a lifelong community. Expect the community of this new indie project to have a calm and cozy vibe. I wouldn't be surprised if people switched over to Paralives just for the sake of finding a welcoming community where it doesn't make you feel defeated or ashamed to be a part of. For the most part, the community behind this game already feels like a breath of fresh air, and I personally cannot wait to build lifelong memories within it. Okay, I'm gonna need you to take a pound of salt and just bear with me while I get this off my chest. The newest update from an unreleased live sim, Vivaland, gave me the impression that inspiration was taken from aspects of The Sims 4 and Paralives combined. Then I learned that someone who was a part of The Sims 4 multiplayer mod could maybe, possibly, allegedly? Do I need to say that? I don't know. Anyway, someone from the Sims 4 multiplayer mod could be a big part of the development for Vivaland, which makes a lot of sense and has me now imagining a far-fetched yet not impossible future for the life simulation genre. Now, what I'm about to say next is not meant to be a dig at Vivaland. We don't know much about this game yet, so good luck to them if Vivaland is real. I'm just going off vibes. I trust the vibes, but keep that pound of salt in mind here. I want you to picture both Life by You and Paralives have been released. The Sims 4 is still being The Sims 4, and we now have Project Rene. EA has reached all new levels of crooked. Now people mass retreat to better alternatives for better gameplay and a stress-free community. It wouldn't be impossible to believe Vivaland was the precursor to multiple companies coming out with their own people life simulators, trying to capitalize on a market of players who just want more options. Now these games could range in quality from decent to a poor attempt at a cash grab. This is a concept that we have all seen plenty of times over. How many games, books, or even TV shows can you think of that had a few successful pioneers that are followed by a swell of copycats? When saying this, do I believe Life by You and Paralives are copycats of The Sims? Absolutely not. Those games will transform the genre and open so many possibilities we were told that weren't feasible that will firmly place those titles as pioneers. Okay, then is Vivaland the first of many imitations? I mean, it could be. We would need to see a lot more from Vivaland for me to decide on that. Alright, now I'm done pulling at loose ends. I just thought this would be an interesting outcome for life simulation after we finally get our hands on Project Rene, Life by You, and Paralives, though I'm still going to hang on to my theory that we can expect many imitations of The Sims. Please keep in mind, this is 100% my personal prediction, and I in no way base any outcome of The Sims losing popularity in fact. The Sims 4 is successful for multiple reasons that are redundant in some ways and weirdly corrupt in others, yet I can't help but feel the reasons behind its prosperity are fueled by fumes. For EA to have their biggest moneymaker fail, they must play their part in this prediction and continue to make shady choices, and I think they've shown us just enough to let their players know that's exactly what they plan to do. EA has always been this way, and The Sims was never their first mistake. It would be an entire video on its own listing all the egregious ways they have single-handedly destroyed their own IPs. With all that said, you can be sure to expect that one group of people, their size dependent on the state of the franchise, will never sway in loyalty. I know you are more than aware there are people within this community that will excuse any and every action from EA and the Sims team. Let's just hope, for The Sims' sake, that this strange clump of simmers can keep the game alive. It'll be sad to see such a beloved franchise fail at the hands of a notorious gaming publisher. Still, the pressure is building. Whether EA ignores it or not, the fate of The Sims will be tested.